What is up, guys? It's the Anarchist. Please like, subscribe, check out my other videos, share the channel with your friends. Let's get this big. And yeah, I went today, which is Sunday, to locals, a tournament, and it was a pretty big tournament. There was like 22 people, I think. And for the first 6 rounds, I went XO. And then on my last 2 rounds, because I finished top 4 with this, on my last 2 rounds, I drew bad compared to my opponent, who drew pretty well. And I think they were both one of them was Burning Abyss, and the other guy was playing Satellerknights. So yeah, they were like the expensive meta decks. Anyway. But yeah, I was playing Godsworn. It did pretty good. It amazed people how well it did, considering the monster count and what monsters are in there. But yeah, it was very good fun. I will say, I am still missing a couple of cards to make it better. By which I mean, I'm missing I have a Gauze. It's in the post right now, which was so annoying. It was supposed to turn up well before the tournament, and it came round and it wasn't there. I did pretty good. I won a 2014 Mega Tin. I will be opening that up on my channel, of course. But yeah, anyway, on for the profile. For the monsters, let's start with, I played 3 Judgment Dragon. And if you want any like info on the deck and why I chose different specific cards, check out my original Godsworn profiles. I went into great detail. But that took me like 8 hours to upload, so this one will hopefully be a lot shorter. Also in this one, as you can see, can't see, but I have a side deck and extra deck pretty much all sorted out. I will point out any cards missing. In the main deck, only cards are missing is you can play Felice maybe instead of Wolf, and a second Gauze, which I will probably swap out for the Beckoning Light, just because I never drew it. Anyway, 3 Raiden. I then play 3 Lumina, 2 Lila. I was considering playing 3, but just for the room in there, and you only really need 2 Lila, as I play 2 MSTs. I preferred the MST, because Skill Drain, or Light Imprisoning Mirror, which of course people are siding. Anyway, now for the one-offs, I play Garroth, Lightsworn Warrior, a Wolf. I would prefer it to be a Felice, although Wolf is more consistent, as you can mill Wolf with a spell card and still get its effect. Felice, you don't get the effect with. Graganith, if you've followed my profiles, you'll understand why this is so good. It's a Lightsworn and a Dragon, and in Godsworn, which is Dragon Rulers and the Chaos variant all in one, it's kind of helpful. Eren, because face down. Someone that wants today. Jane got over quite a few things. I managed to like suicide into a Downed Magician. Raikou was brilliant because it was just a free pop of a card. I'm so glad I played him. Minerva was pretty good. Just that extra mill helped quite a bit. And that was the last of the lights ones. And I played Honest. I did notice in today when I was doing the duels that I 2-0'd all of my opponents. When I won the match, I 2-0'd them, and except for the last ones when they just opened, I just pulled quite bad, or they had the answers. But yeah, well, that's always what they say. But yeah, 3 Eclipse Byron. I noticed that if I'm gonna win with this deck, it will win with explosive style. If I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna lose slowly. Anyway, 2 Light Ray Diablos. I tried doing 3, but as I'm not playing the pure Dragon Ruler version, I decided to cut it down. 3 of the Dragon Rulers. I don't play Redox because he's 2. He hasn't got a hired attack. 2 Courier Bandit. 1 Gauze. I should play 2 Gauze. I've got another one in the post. Blackluster Soldier, Envoy at the beginning. Chaos Sorcerer. And Sinister Sprocket. Sinister Sprocket was very good. It allows me to get Catastor, any level 8s. It just helps with quite a few things. Now for the spells, I play Charge of the Light Brigade. Then play 3 Solar Recharge. Play the 2 MSTs that I mentioned. They were very useful. I'm glad I main decked 2 MSTs. I might consider swapping one from Malevolent Catastrophe depending on how I feel. Because everybody sets so much back row, and that's what hurts this. And the Beckoning Light, which I didn't draw once. It's got a good play with it, allows you to get your Honest back from the grave. But I think I'll swap it out for my second Gauze, because this deck, I'd rather have the Gauze than the chance of getting Judgment Dragons back. Because like the only times I'll ever lose my Judgment Dragons is by milling them. And when I mill them, it's just that they've gone and bunched together in like shuffling. And if I shuffle well, it doesn't happen. Now for the extra deck, I play for the rank 3s, number 47, Nightmare Shark, great card. Wind Up Zen mains, very good. Leviair, I'm actually considering dropping Leviair. I don't really see what I want to bring back, other than like the odd Lightsworn name. I do understand there are plays, but I've never needed them. Diamond Direwolf for the rank 4s, along with Gaga Cowboy, very good. Steel Swarm Roach. Now for the rank 7s, number 11 Big Eye. And depending on what I pull in my Mega Tin, I won. Might have something else. Heretics for the rank 8s, Heratic Sun Dragon, Overlord of Heliopolis. Very good card. It's just pops. And it also stops you over milling with your Judgment Dragons if you get stopped. Ally of Justice Catastor, very good card. 2, Michael, the Light Art Sworn. Actually went against a guy today who kicked himself so hard. I went Lumina, Raiden, and upon activating Raiden, just before I activated Raiden, upon summoning Raiden, sorry, he checked his back row, and I knew he had the bottomless trap hole, but he let the Raiden go through, thinking I was going to make Michael. Then I made Black Rose, and he kicked himself so hard, it was like, you could tell this guy was like, oh, I've just misplayed, I should have bottomless the Raiden, but he just wasn't thinking straight. He was playing Black Wings, which was really cool. 1 Beals, because I can make it, and if I can make it with a Dragon Ruler and Sinister Sprocket, it's like amazing. I play the Stardust Dragon and Colossal Fighter. I think I might drop the Colossal Fighter, just because if I'm going to make a rank 8, I'll probably go Stardust or Beals. And then I have the 2 awesome tokens. Now for the side deck, I literally went through what cards are like the pros playing for side decks, and then thought what will actually maybe live a turn or two in my light deck, considering I mill so much. And I think everything I sided in, I think I drew most of it, but not always in the right duel. Anyway, I play 1 Neospatian Grand Mole, just because he gets over Xyz. A Puppet Plant, which is very, very, very good for, Shadows and Satellerknights. It lets you take control of 1 face-up warrior or spellcaster type monster your opponent controls till the end phase, by discarding it. So it's like, yeah, I want to make a rank 4, I want to synchro, I want to do anything, I'll take it. Flying Sea worked, I drew it, I drew Puppet Plant as well. I got Flying Sea, I did it, I used it against the Satellerknights. I just didn't draw anything else that I could actually summon for the rest of the duel. He beat me down with the Deneb and something, and that was like the only reason I lost. Was like he had 4 set back row, and it was like Nova Alpha, Twin Karma Cut, and it was like at that point it was like I can't do anything. He can't XYZ. I've shut him down in that way. But then he just had this board, and it was like if I could only mill, but none of my monsters were milling at the moment. I'm actually considering getting like a Needlebug Nest or something, just to have that instant mill. 2 Black Dragon's Collapse Serpent. I didn't side it in, although the top ones there I sided in. I didn't side these in, but it's nice to have the option of like if they're playing a light deck and you know they're going to side in like... if they're playing a dark deck and you know they're going to side in Light Imprisoning Mirror, I can convert my entire deck into from Godsworn into Chaos, which is very, very good, because it means unless your opponent sides both light and dark light and dark Imprisoning Mirror, yeah, you know what I mean. But if they sign in both of them, then that's the only way it could really do it, because if you know that they're going to side in like one or t'other because they're playing either a light deck or they're playing a dark deck. The only time this was a problem was when somebody sided in, actually no, they didn't do it today, but the only time it's a problem is when your opponent will play like a rogue deck or something that's like fire or something else that can side in both. That's the only time it's a down problem. I then played the 3rd Light Ray Diablos. and the Lila, depending on how back row heavy they are. I also play Mystical Space Typhoon as my only spell, Malevolent Catastrophe just as a backup if I wanted to. I actually sided out an MST for Malevolent Catastrophe, I think. I can't remember, I might have. Just because I thought he keeps on setting 5 back row and this will stop him. Chain Disappearance, I got this off on a tour guide in this Burning Abyss player. I still lost, but it was just like a happy moment of I played Chain Disappearance, his tour guide went. I could have also done it on this Dante, because there is a ruling thing with that, which is pretty cool. I didn't face a single Shadow player today. There were like 2 or 3 at the tournament, but I had most of my extra deck set up, extra deck, side deck, as you can see, for it. But I played Non-Fusion Area, which I've done a Cards to Consider episode on, Mispolymerization, which I've done a Cards to Consider episode on. But yeah, Non-Fusion Area is good if you open it first turn, Mispolymerization is throughout the duel. I might actually swap it out to be 2 Mispolymerizations. And then I played Twin Ceasefire, which I'm probably not going to play again. There are a few cards that it's like, I don't really know what to side for. I'm not the best at siding, but I have a load of tech cards, so I just went through my Cards to Consider episodes and was like, that's a good card, that one was especially good, and just chucked him in the side deck. And to an extent, it worked. And being how fast my deck is, I drew through everything. So I actually drew my side deck cards, which better than most can say. But anyway, like, subscribe. Hope you check out the opening I'll be uploading pretty soon. And yeah, the Anarchist, signing out.